Hey, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? This is Vince here. Can everybody hear me? Awesome. Aaron, how you doing, my man? You might want to unmute your mic. Let me.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty awesome, my man. Pretty awesome.
Right on.
All right, give me a few seconds, guys. I have a few more people coming on, so it's 8:30 on the dot. Let's give it 2 more minutes, and then we'll dive.
Hello.
All right, perfect. All right, let's get rolling. No time is valuable. Let's get rolling. All right, so guys, so the main reason I wanted to do this webinar instead of the scheduled call, I know you guys booked a call with me, and I decided to not do that because number one, it's not really the most efficient way to do things, and number two, I figured that you guys will get a lot more. If you guys are coming in, please mute your mic. Do me a favor. Mute your mic as you come in. I figured that you guys would get a lot more value out of the webinar because you'll be able to see everything that I'm talking about instead of being on the phone call with you and just telling you. Here, I can actually log into the accounts and show you how they're doing. I can actually show you the profits. I can show you the numbers. So I believe you got to get a lot more value out of that. What do you guys think? You can just type in the chat. There's a chat box at the bottom. You can type in there, and also we can do Q&As. If you have any questions, you can always type it in the chat as well too. And then at the end, I'll mute everybody's mic so we can do some live Q&As. Okay? Awesome. All right, so just to give you guys a little background on me, I know a lot of you have been through the website already. Some of you are recommended by somebody that already a client of mine. So, I always say word of mouth advertising, best advertising you can get, because if you have a friend or family member that's referring you to the business, it's actually because they care about you and they can vouch for the service. So to give everybody a background on myself, my name is Vince. If you don't know by now, you should know. I've been selling on Amazon for the past 5 years. I started off and still doing Amazon, strictly drop shipping. This was a way and a means for me to earn an extra income online. And I did pretty well at that, to where my business really started to pick off. And I went on and outsourced the business. I got a few virtual assistants to run the business because I was getting to the point where I was getting so many sales coming in. And I could not do it alone, because at first I was doing the product research. I was listing the products. I was processing the orders. I was keeping track of inventory and everything. And I said, this is crazy. I have to find a way to outsource this and duplicate myself. So I went on and I hired 3 virtual assistants. And then the store started doing really, really well. People wanted me to coach and mentor. And I did that for 2 to 3 years, just straight coaching and mentoring. And then a year and a half ago, everybody started saying, Vince, can you manage my account for me just like you have your team managing your account? Can they manage my account for me too? And at first I was like, absolutely not. Why would I want my team to manage your account for you? Because that's only taken away from my business. It would have made sense for me to do that. And then people kept asking. I said, okay, you know what? If I can grow my back-end infrastructure and I can bring on more people on staff, then I could possibly think about doing that. And that's what I did. So I went from having 3 virtual assistants to now we have over 200 virtual assistants on staff. We currently manage over 100 Amazon accounts. We do about $5 million a month in sales. I also have a management team of 5 people on staff in the States as well. And it's been a phenomenal ride. I enjoy every bit of it. All right. So that's that. That's my background in terms of the business model. So what I really want to do now is I'm going to share my screen with you guys. We're going to take a look at some accounts, take a look at the sales for today, just to see how these accounts are doing. Does that sound fair to everybody? If that sounds fair, put a yes in the chat for me, just so I know you guys can hear me. Awesome, awesome. All right, so give me a second and I'll pull up my screen here. Perfect. All right, let me know when you guys can see my screen. If you can see the screen, just put a yes in the chat. Awesome, awesome. Awesome. All right, so basically, guys, what you're looking at over here, let me move these things out the way. What you're looking at here, this is an Amazon account. This is a Seller Central back office. This is basically your business online. So the same way if you had a brick and mortar business, you would walk in, open the doors, turn on your open sign and all of that. This is your online business. This is your virtual business. So everything you're looking at on the left-hand side is your sales that are coming in. On the right-hand side is your money, your payments, and also your sales as well too, right? So we can see right now, we currently have 17 orders that are pending. That means 17 people are going through the process of making purchases for the products that we're selling. And the last, we have 337 orders that are unshipped, meaning that we've already purchased these products from our suppliers and we're waiting for the tracking numbers to provide the customers on Amazon in order for Amazon to release the money to our balance, which will go right here. So let's say, for example, each order is $1, 337 will go here. If each order is $10, right, $3,300 will go here. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. All right, so we can see we also have 2 returns as well too, right? So in any business, you're always going to get returns. But we can see the returns are really, really small compared to the sales. I mean, we've done 337, we got 2 returns. Okay, that's phenomenal. And the last day alone, we've already fulfilled 250 orders. In the past 7 days, we've done 1,000. We've already fulfilled 1,000 orders. Okay, we can see our total balance in this account is $85,000. All right, our most recent payment, Amazon pays every 2 weeks, was $53,000. But more importantly, let's take a look at the numbers. So today's the 12th. Today alone, we've sold for $6,300. Okay, we sold 147 units so far today. And it's only 8:30. We still have about 5 hours to go. So we're probably going to do about $8,000 or more. And the last 7 days, we've done $45,000. In the last 15 days, we've done $91,000. In the last 30 days, we've done $161,000 in sales. Okay, and this is just one account out of the 100+ accounts that we manage. And I'll show you guys some more accounts. Give me a second. I do have to stop sharing the screen because there is client information that I don't want on this video. All right, so we're gonna move forward. We're gonna go to account number 2 now. Let me pull it up. And every account is gonna perform differently, guys, because there's different products in every single account. We don't take the same products and add them all across the board, because if we did that, we would be competing against each other and it wouldn't make any sense, all right? So right now, what you're looking at is the second account. Okay, so we can see right now we have 18 orders that are pending. We have 791 orders that are waiting for tracking numbers. Like I said, it takes 2 to 3 days to get those. And the last day, we've already fulfilled 420 orders. In the last 7 days, we've fulfilled 2,020 orders. Total balance is 75. Our most recent payment was $60,000. Let's take a look at our sales for today. Right now, we're at $6,000 in sales so far. 53,000 past 7 days, 116 past 15 days, and $195,000 in sales in the past 30 days. All right, so I'm gonna stop there. Let's log into another account. Are you guys getting a lot more value out of this? Does this make a lot more sense to you by seeing it versus just being on a phone call with me and just hearing it? Does this make more sense to you? 1 second, guys. Pulling up the. Got a lot of new accounts too, and so got to find these accounts. All right. Yes, all of these are clients' accounts. Every single one of them are clients' accounts that we're managing. Okay, it would make no sense for me to show you my account, because I can sit here and show you all these numbers and stuff, but if I can't do it for you, and if I can't do it for a client, what's the value to you, right? So here's another account. Same thing again, guys. On the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, our most recent payment is $109,000. We can see that our total balance is 91. Our sales for today so far, we had 7,400 today, 71,000 past 7 days, 137,000 past 15 days, 274,000 past 30 days. All right. So our goal, just to give you guys an idea of numbers in terms of profits and take homes, right? And then we'll go into that. I'll show you spreadsheets and everything. My goal is when a client comes on board, I want to get them to $100,000 a month in sales. If I can get you to $100,000 a month in sales, our cost of goods sold to purchase these products and to fulfill these orders is going to be about 70 to 80K. All right. So on that 70 to 80K of our cost, right, we want to make a 10 to 15% profit margin on that number, which means that we want to get to a point at the end of the day, after all the Amazon fees, after all the costs, after shipping, everything, we want to make $8,000 to $12,000 or more in our account every single month. That's the goal. As you see, we have accounts that are doing $195,000. We have accounts that are doing $274,000. I'm talking about just $100,000. Okay? So just to give you guys an idea. All right. So far, questions, guys. Any questions? Feel free to. Everybody can unmute their mics now. I want to do an interactive Q&A session with you guys and answer any questions you guys might have, and then I'll also dive into spreadsheets and numbers. Talks about what it takes to run an account, numbers wise, everything.
How do you get your products to where they're like seen on Prime? Because I know a lot of friends that they only buy things if they're available on Amazon Prime. Or how does that work? Like that's really my question.
Yeah. So what we do is instead of here's the thing. There's a couple ways to go about selling on Amazon. Some people do drop shipping. Some people do retail arbitrage. They're going from store to store. They're looking for things that are in clearance, and then they post it on Amazon. When they sell it, they package it themselves. They go to the post office. That's the most tedious way of doing it, right? Another way to do it is to buy things in bulk from Alibaba and do private label, package it, and send it in, and Amazon does the fulfillment by Amazon.
Right.
The thing I don't like about that is, even though the profit margins could be a little bit higher, on the downside is you're purchasing a bunch of products up front that you may or may not sell. Right. And if you don't sell it, you're stuck with that inventory. What we do is a little bit backwards. We do research up front first, figure out what people are purchasing. If I can figure out what your friends are buying, then I know what to sell. So I have tools that'll tell me, hey, this product is selling 3,000 quantities a month. This one is doing 5,000 quantities. This one is doing 10,000 quantities a month. So if I have 100 to 200 of these products, and it doesn't matter if I have 100 to, because I'm not purchasing anything up front. All I'm doing is once I know what the demand is, I'm listing those products for sale. I'm waiting for somebody to purchase them on Amazon. And once Amazon collects the money, I already know a supplier that I can purchase that same product from at a lower cost, and I'm getting my supplier to ship it directly to the customer. So to answer your question in short, it's just you have to do your research up front to know exactly what people are buying so you know what to sell. So we don't necessarily focus on Prime products or try to compete with Prime. It's all based on demand and volume.
Okay, that makes sense.
Awesome.
Hello?
Hey, Matt, how are you, my man?
Hey, what's going on? I had a few questions. But first of all, this is a great, probably the best business opportunity that I've seen so far. I started drop shipping on Amazon back in 2014 before all the policies and the restrictions. And possibly about last year, I had my first $100,000 month on Amazon. And then I got, it is great until I got suspended due to, my order defect rate was extremely high and, all types of problems. so Amazon just suspended me, whatever. My question here to you is, first of all, as far as profit, you said 10 to 15%. That's after paying VAs as well?
Yeah, 10 to 15%. That's after cost of goods sold. That's after taxes and shipping and Amazon fees. Not paying.
Not the VAs.
Yeah.
And the VAs take 30%, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll go into that a bit more detail. But as far as you're concerned, well, first of all, congratulations to you, because $100,000 a month is not an easy task.
It's not.
Right? So awesome job on that. As far as the order defect rate going up, yeah, that is something that you have to monitor, because the health of the account is everything in Amazon. Because if Amazon's a $1 billion company, they're not going to let you come in and do whatever you want. And then unhappy customers are complaining about their platform. Next thing you know, everybody's going around the internet saying how Amazon is not a great place to buy products from, right? So, which is why I have the 200 virtual assistants, but I also have 5 people on staff over here too. And I have a master spreadsheet where I keep track of the health of every single account that we manage. So I have somebody three times a week monitoring the health of these accounts. What's the order defect rate on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or whatever the day is, so we know exactly what's going on with that account. I want to know how many products are in the account. I want to know how many products are being added on a weekly basis. I want to know if there's any returns, if there's any A to Z claims. I want to know the order defect rate. I want to know the late shipment. I want to know our sales. If my sales go from 100,000 to 50,000, I want to know why. If it goes from 100 to 150, I know we're growing, right? But if I'm getting a lot of A to Z claims, we need to minimize that, and we need to play defense, because if we start getting, we're going to lose the buy box, order defect rate is going to go up, and if the account gets suspended, hopefully you get that account back. But I also have my team as well too. We go in and we appeal these accounts and get them back.
Oh, so, no. As far as my account, no, they suspended it with 26,000 in the balance, and I'm not getting that back.
How long has that been?
It's been a while too. It's been October. I know after 3 months is not even 3 months. After like 3 weeks, I guess it's over. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can help you with that, my man. So you can also, since it's been over 3 months, so step one would be sending an email in for your payments, because you should be getting your payments right away, right? No matter what. Number two, when these accounts get suspended, you have to know how to appeal it the right way, and there's different scripts. So it's a lot that goes into it. It's people see this business, they don't realize the work that goes on behind the scenes, and we're able to do this at a massive scale because we do have the infrastructure to do so. But you selling on Amazon and have done $100,000 a month, you know the work that it takes to do that.
Oh yes.
But
I had a few VAs too. And another question that I have with the VAs is, because once I lost the business, whatever, my VAs ran out of work too. Would I be able to use my VAs even with your VAs if you could train my VAs?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah. Because because I don't want to interfere with the current business model that we have and just move it around. It's just, listen, I'm a big believer in sticking to what works, and I'm a big believer in consistency, right? So I'm all about what works. I don't try to change things around. I've been doing it in the same business for the past 5 years, and we've gotten to this point of doing $5 million a month, and we're scaling to 10 million. Is because we stay consistent, learn and grow, stay consistent. So I don't like to go off track.
Okay. Yeah. I guess that's it. You guys use Info.co and Web Scrape Wrap?
No, and this is not a webinar to talk about tools that we use and things like that. This is an information webinar as far as people that are interested in the Amazon automation service. As far as those tools, I don't personally use those tools. We have a lot of things that we do manually on our side because we do have the staff to do so. But there are a lot of good tools out there. I know people that use Jumbo Scout. There's people that use Seller Browser. There's a few different ones, but here is not a training on how to do Amazon. It's more so our account management service, because most people that are looking at this opportunity are looking for something that's passive, and that's the main goal of this business. This is not to teach you how to do Amazon and you go about doing it yourself. This is, hey, Vince, I'm working full time right now, or I'm running my current business, and I want something that's passive to where I know I got $8,000 to $10,000 coming in on the back end while I focus on what I'm currently doing. That's what my business model is based on. Exactly.
Well, that's it. I love it. I'm definitely joining. I'm definitely looking to join, but I had to better my credit score first of all, and come up with some capital.
Yeah, well, let's do this. First thing first, shoot me an email afterwards, or shoot me a message, and I'd love to, whether or not you're a current client, if I can help you with that current account that you have, I mean, I'll see what I can do for you there too. All right.
Oh, thank you so much.
I have a question. All right. So what is the benefit of having multiple stores versus just trying to scale up one store to, say, $1 million a month in sales?
All right. I like where you're going. All right. So you can, I mean, I've seen stores get scaled up. I mean, we have stores that are doing a couple 100,000, but it's a little difficult to get to that $1 million mark because the products that you're selling, you're never going to be the only person selling those products, right? So if you have, this particular product that's selling 3,000 units a month, you're not going to sell all 3,000 are not going to come from your store. There's going to be other sellers. So we're trying to get a piece of that 3,000. We're trying to get 200, 300 of that 3,000. So you're not the only seller, number one, right? Number two, there's other great sellers that has positive reviews and feedbacks, and they're being rotated on the first page as well too. So they got to get some of that traffic, right? So it makes a lot more sense to have 2 accounts, 3 accounts to tap into more so of that traffic, and also have different products in those stores to be able to generate the whatever that income level is that you want to generate. But if I were to tell you, I'm never, in business, I believe in being straightforward. I am not going to tell you, hey, I'm going to scale your store to $100,000 a month, because I don't have current clients that are doing that. So I'm not going to sell you that. But I will tell you, hey, we can get to 100,000. We can get to 200,000 because I have the results to prove that.
You're talking about net.
No, we're talking about sales. If you want to get to $100,000 a month net, we can do that as well too, because we're doing $5 million a month. We're generating it, but we're not doing it from one account. It will take a few accounts to do so.
Right. Got it. All right.
So you just have to say, hey, Vince, my goal is this. And then we'll come up with that number as far as how to do it. We have a client that came on board last week. He bought 7 accounts because he has his own goals. Everybody has their own goals, But all these different accounts, though, you have to go about it a specific way. You can't just open up 7 accounts on Amazon like that, because you have to go about it a specific way.
Can you have more than one account in your own name at Amazon? I thought that they looked at IP addresses and things like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Yeah, you have to go about it in a specific way to do so. You can't just open up 10 accounts under your name. So if you guys once you guys come on board, or whoever, comes, I'll teach you exactly how to go about it. You got to do, just to give you an idea, different IP, different credit card on file. There's a few things you have to change. So it's not still like, okay, why does this guy have 10 accounts? Why? Which really doesn't make sense to me, because what's the difference between you having 100 accounts and them having 100 different sellers? I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's still numbers, right? I mean, I don't get it, but it is what it is. We have to play by the rules. All right.
The remainder of my question comes about from the cost of what you charge, and I'll just wait. And, typically what happens is, if you wait long enough, your question will get answered. So I'll just wait for you to get through the rest of this and then go from there.
Absolutely. On average, how long does it take for the account to reach sales goals of 100K? From what I've seen, past performance has taken us about 5-6 months to get there, because you have to realize in the beginning, guys, any business you start, you have to give it time to grow, right? Don't ever listen to somebody and say, well, we're going to get you to this overnight. I mean, they're just trying to take your money and sell you something, okay? The first 3 months of selling on Amazon, you got to build that credibility. You don't have the buy box. You're not being rotated. You don't have the traffic coming in yet. And we're doing product research. We're adding products the first month. Okay, so the first month, we might do $10,000 or $15,000 in sales. The second month, we might do 20. Third month, we might do 20 or 30. Once we get the buy box, it usually takes 3 months to get it. And the buy box, for those of you guys that don't know, that's where, when you're looking at a specific product on Amazon and you're in that main page and you see the add to cart button, that's the buy box. If you don't have it, then the only way customers are going to see you is when they're clicking on see all other sellers, and they're basically price shopping at that point, and they're going to pick the person who has the lowest price, right? So it usually takes us 90 days to get that, but we've been doing this long enough to know what the algorithm kind of looks for. So I have clients that are getting it within the first month, but that I'm not going to sell you that and say it's going to happen. It happens a lot, but we usually have to wait 90 days. After 90 days, that's when the business really starts to pick up. We start doing a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. Month 5 and 6, we're at the 70,000, 100,000. Okay. But guys, think about it. If I tell you, hey, Give me 6 months and I'm going to get you to, to your goal of that 8K, 10K, whatever it is. It's a no-brainer. All right. Is this all right? So let's dive into some profits and spreadsheets, and then let's talk about some numbers. Sounds good?
Sure.
All right. So when was the last time you guys was on a webinar and somebody was this transparent with you? Give me a second. Never. Yep. All right. Can you guys see my screen again, right?
Yep.
Okay, so what I'm going to show you now is actual data. It's nice to look at sales and be like, okay, well, I did $100,000 this month, or I did 200,000. Yay. But you could do 200,000 and make no profits because you're breaking even, right? It happens all the time. I see people have businesses and they're like, okay, well, my revenue is $1 million a year. But what are you making? What are you going home with? Oh yeah, I made $50,000. Okay, all right. So let's go back. Let's talk about some profits. We're gonna go back. I don't know. Let's go back 8 months or so. Let's start in June. Okay, we're gonna go from June all the way to now. All right. So what you want to look at is this top section right here. You see, for the month of June, we did $41,000 in sales. Our cost of goods sold to acquire these products was $26,000. Our gross profit was $15,000. Amazon's fees was $6,000. So yeah, Amazon's not letting you sell on their platform because they like you and they're nice. It's because they make a lot of money, right? Taxes and shipping, and then at the end of the day, we made $6,400. You know what's unique about this, guys? This $26,000, this didn't even come out of my client's pocket. Every single one of my clients, they utilize a line of credit card, multiple credit cards to process these orders. So they're not even using their own money. And this $26,000, that's for the month, right? So 26 plus the 3, let's just say 30,000 is all of our cost, right? $30,000 Amazon is paying every 2 weeks. So you really need about $15,000 of capital. And if you have a line of credit, Amex or whatever credit card you have, you can put it on there and get the points. So you're not even using your own money to make the $6,400. Okay, so July, we did $13,000 in July. Our sales went up, 74,000. Cost of goods sold was 47,000. Our gross profit was this. Amazon fees, they love us. My company makes Amazon about $200,000 to $300,000 a month. Okay, all across the board. So we did $13,000 that month.
Can I get you to stop for a moment?
1 second, let me keep going. I'll go back. August, we did 12,000. September, we did 10,000. October, we did 10,000. Now, the number, this green box you're looking at over here, that's cash back. Sometimes we get the cash back, sometimes we don't. So we don't do a 30% profit out of this number. We do it out of this number, okay? November, we did 13,000. This is just a bonus for clients. If we get them, if we don't get it. December, we did 24,000, holiday season, Christmas, things like that. January, 14,000. So you see we're increasing a little bit. And February, we did 11,000. All right. So yeah, Q&A. Go ahead, my man.
Okay, so on this particular month there, you've got 11,000 and change, 315 net profit, but your cost of your sales was 95,000, right?
Correct.
And you've got that at 16%. And when you just do the straight math in your head, you're closer to 11%, 11.2, 11.25%. Why are you not, from the looks of things, you're not counting the Amazon fees?
No, we're counting the Amazon fees, but I'm not calculating the way you're calculating it. My profit margin, the percentage is not based on sales, it's based on my actual cost, right? So for example, if I take $67,000 plus, because Amazon fees is already taken out for me to get this bottom line number, the dollars. So there's no point in me counting it again because that's how I got the 11,000. But as far as the percentage itself, it's 67,000 plus taxes plus shipping. So this is all my costs. The formula you can see is J2 which is the dollar, divided by E2, which is my cost of goods sold, divided by H2, which is my tax, and divided by plus I2. So I'm I'm adding up all my costs, and then I'm taking my profit, dividing it by my cost, which will give me my true cost, my true return based on how much cash I'm putting out, not profit margin based on sales. You understand?
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. And then
you guys take.
And then we do the 70-30 split on this number, because listen, guys, if you're paying somebody a flat fee of $300 a month, they're going to do $300 a month of work. But if you're paying somebody based on performance, and if they know, hey, you know what, if I make you $1,000, I'm getting 300. But if I can make you 11 grand, obviously I'm going to get, $3,000, $3,300. So guess what? It's in their best interest. It's in your best interest, because now when we have clients that make $20,000, guess what? The client's happy, the VA's happy, I'm happy because my clients are happy. And that 30% does not go to me, it goes to my team. That's how they get paid. The 200 people over there, they have to get paid. They have to feed their family, right? And to do this, guys, we're processing I showed you guys where we're processing 4,000 or 5,000 orders. So it's not one individual VA that's getting 30% of the income. It could be 3, 4, 5 people working on an account. We got to do product research. We got to list the products. We got to process all these orders. We got to do the customer service. We got to handle returns, everything. You as the client, all you're doing is you're setting up your Amazon account and you're providing the capital, line of credit to process these orders. That's it.
Okay, so from what my understanding was, is that we pay whatever the fee is for your company, and then on top of that, I need a credit balance on my credit card. Am I right?
Correct. So what does it take to get involved with our business model? Okay, to get involved with us, the fee is $25,000 for you to become a client of ours. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
And that goes up relatively quickly every 3 months, because the demand I get for the services is crazy. Okay. And we also do a 70-30 split on profits, because you want the person working in your account to have incentive and investment in your business. All right. And then you also want to make sure you have capital. So for example, for this month, for us to make this $11,000, we did $67,000 in sales. So let's just say 70,000. Amazon's paying every 2 weeks. So that's about 35K. So we need a 35K line of credit. It could be Amex. A lot of my clients use American Express Platinum, because as you use it, the limits go up. It could be that card. It could be multiple cards that you use. As long as you have the 35K, I don't care where it's coming from, right? But you're also getting the points for it, because if you say, Vince, I have 100 grand in the bank, okay, don't use your money. Still use a credit card so you can get the points and travel for free, all right? So you need that 35K line of credit to do that. But if you say, Vince, my goal is to do $5,000 a month, that's a different story. We can do that with $50,000 in sales. Our cost of goods sold is probably going to be 40, which means we only need about 15, 20K. So it just depends what your goals are.
Okay.
So they take 30% from net profit, but what about total profits? So we do a 70-30 split on net profits, but can you explain why total profits is more and how we keep the rest of that, or where the total profits falls in?
Yeah, as I explained, the total profit is based on cash backs that we get from certain sites. So the spreadsheet calculates the total profits all the way across. Whether we get it or not, when we input the numbers, the spreadsheet's going to calculate it. So we can get the cash back sometimes we don't. So it doesn't make sense for me to do a 30% profit on something that you may or may not get. It's not fair to you. If you get it, fine. That's a bonus to you as a client. Okay. But our numbers are always going to be based on a net profit, not that inflated number that we may or may not get. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Yes. So that makes perfect sense. But I'm wondering, what does that entail? What he says, we may or may not get it. Can you just explain that little bit, that cash back?
Do you know what cash backs are?
On why?
Are you familiar with cash backs when you purchase things online?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for a credit card.
Yeah, no, not for credit card. Your cash. Okay, so for example, if you're doing $100,000 a month on your credit card, you're getting 100,000 points, right? That's guaranteed because you're using your card based on the credit card company you have. This is something separate. This is something before we go to our suppliers that we use, we go to another site first, and we let that site refer us to the supplier site, so we get a little kickback from going through them first. You understand? So you're making your profits, you're getting your points from your credit card company, and then this is an extra bonus. You understand?
Makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
If you want to open up more than one store, is it how much extra is it per extra store?
It's $25,000 per store. I mean,
For every.
yeah, if you're buying multiple stores, that's something that you and we can discuss. But just to be honest with you guys, the demand that I get for the service right now, it really doesn't do me justice to do discounts, whether one store or
Yeah, no, I understand. I just wanted to know what you had as a base rule as such.
Yeah, it's just what it has to make sense. If somebody's coming in with 2 stores, I may be like, okay, well, there's going to be 2 stores that comes tomorrow. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make a difference to me if you're buying 10 stores and I have 10 individual clients. It's the same stores that I have to manage. I understand that you're one client. So
No, I understand.
yeah, as a businessman, we can negotiate something that makes sense. But at the end of the day, it's still 10 individual clients that stores that I have to manage. You understand where I'm coming from? And
okay.
yeah, so you just have to let me know, hey, Vince, this is what I'm thinking about, and I'll say, okay, well, based on this, and here's what I think is fair, and then, yeah, but this is not, it's the demand is there, guys, and the service itself, the service sells itself, guys. If you guys are true entrepreneurs and businessmen, you should really understand exactly what you're looking at in terms of passive income.
Deal.
All right. So,
A quick question.
Matt, you run out of questions. I'm gonna start charging you, bud.
No, just as far as contacting you, because I contacted you like a couple of days ago, and I didn't get an answer on Facebook.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. You messaged me, or was it Instagram?
It was Facebook.
All right, yeah. So because I'm maxed out on Facebook, if we're not friends, like sometimes it doesn't even go to my other inbox. You know how usually somebody's not your friend, your message goes to the other inbox, and you can go there and see. Now I don't even get the messages for some because I'm maxed out. So that's why I have the Facebook group for all of my clients, and we communicate there. And then my clients, I try to delete people to add them. But other than that, I mean, it's going to be you're not going to get a hold of me unless you're a client of mine, because I know all of my clients individually, and I'll contact them. Once I initiate that contact, then it'll always be there in a dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah. So how did you hear about the business, by the way?
I've just been looking for different businesses on YouTube, like from morning till night, and I just ran up on you. I seen that.
Okay.
Actually, it was from the guru guy on YouTube, the passive income guru.
Passive income guru.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know any gurus, man. I kind of stay away from gurus,
Oh.
It's probably is it Jeff? Maybe, I don't know.
I think that's his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy.
Yeah, probably Jeff. Yeah. Yeah. So probably the best thing to do, brother, is to maybe just comment under one of my posts or reply to the email that I sent out, and then that'll be the best bet.
Yeah,
right.
That's fine. I'll definitely join anyway. So
yeah, definitely. Okay. Preston Mark.
Like he's like crazy Indian kid.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Preston's pretty cool. We actually had a chance to hang out and do a little yacht thing.
Yeah, he was telling me about it.
Awesome stuff. Other than that, guys, I like to keep it short. I know we're all busy entrepreneurs. So how do we get started? For those of you guys that are interested in getting started, you can just shoot me an email, and then I'll provide you with the step. Every single client that comes on board, they get an agreement from me. So the agreement, it's not just word of mouth. So you get an agreement that outlines everything that we just spoke about. So what you're getting yourself into, and both of us obviously. And then from there, once I get that back through DocuSign, you sign it, it makes sense. I'll send you the wire instructions to send the funds, and then I'll give you access to the course so you can start setting up your account. Because even though you're an automation client, I still want you to understand the business and knows how it works. Because it's one thing to say, okay, well, I understand what's going on, but I want Vince to handle it because he knows what he's doing, versus you not knowing anything at all. Because at the end of the day, it's your business, right? So even though I'm going to run everything for you guys, I still want you to know how it works. So that's why every single client that comes through automation, they get the course for free. So that way we can work better together. So that's pretty much it, guys. So shoot me an email. And
Oh, I got a question. Literally,
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely. What is your email?
based in the
What's
UK.
the email? I have not got the contract or anything, so send that over so we can get signed up.
who's speaking? Who was that said something?
Send over the email.
Philip speaking, man. Let me speak, please. You guys have been speaking for a while now. I'm based in the UK, and I don't know how this is going to work.
Philip, hold on. We're gonna get to you, but I'm not ignoring you. Yeah, you have send me an email. Whoever's asking for the agreement, send me an email, and I'll send it to you. Because I'm not just gonna randomly send an agreement to everybody. Because you have to let me know that, hey, Vince, I want to move forward. And obviously, the price is $25K. So send me an email with your name and your email address, and I'll get that agreement sent out to you. Philip, go ahead, my man. I know you're in the UK. I know it's late over there.
No, what's your email?
I'll provide it afterwards.
All right.
Let me let Philip go because I know he's in the UK and what is it like 2 a.m. over there?
Exactly.
All right, go ahead, my man.
Yeah, I'm based in the UK, and I think I'm finding it a little bit challenging setting up the accounts because I know it requires a credit card and some US registration as well. So I find it so difficult, getting started. So I just wanted to find out how can that be possible.
Awesome. Yeah, so I do have quite a few UK clients. I have Canadian clients as well. People all over the place, really. Opening an Amazon account in the UK it's not hard. It's very easy. The part that gets a little challenging is the card on file to purchase the products from the suppliers. Because you are in the UK, they're like, okay, well, this is a foreign credit card and your billing address is all the way in Europe. How are you buying stuff from us and you're shipping it to an address in the US, right? So you just message me. The way to go about that is you want to make sure that address that you have for that card is a US address. That's how you want to go about it. You can message me on Facebook. I know you did. You chatted with me a little bit. Send me a message and I'll walk you through that process. And when you come on board, there's going to be step-by-step on how to do all that. I'll even connect you with current UK clients so they can, network with you and tell you how they went about doing it as well. But there's nobody gets left behind, guys. If you're on my team, you're a client of mine. That's why I devote all my time to clients. This is why it's hard to reach me because if you're not a client of mine, my time is spent on my clients. It's almost like a nobody gets left behind program. I take my business very seriously. This thing's my baby. And it's all about making sure that my clients win. All right.
Yeah,
So, is it possible I can say something?
Is that Philip again?
No, that's me. That's Audie.
Audie. I don't like Audies, man.
You trip, man. I love Audis. I love your Lambo and your Mercedes, though, but Audis are the best.
Go ahead, my man.
Nah, all right. So, what if, okay, you said the product is 25 grand, right? Now, what if I don't have the 25 grand, but I have good credit? Is it possible that, you could help me some way, somehow try, because I know there's a guy that you deal with. He fixed credit. His name is Capital One Solutions, I believe.
And promoting on my webinar or
Huh?
Are we doing promotions on the webinar? Go ahead. Yeah, that's my
No. I'm just I guess I've done a lot of my research and I know, the guys that you hang with and I guess the people that I've been seeing that you've been around, I guess I see what they do. A couple of them do the whole ATM thing. So I'm also trying to get on that. But like I said, if I don't have the 25 grand and I have good credit, is there a way that I'll be able to, get the money? Is there a way that you can help me get the money so I can start the process and getting the, the whole Amazon drop shipping going?
Absolutely. Jay's actually a pretty cool cat, good friend of mine. He does phenomenal work. In terms of credit restoration and funding, is two different aspects. So on the funding side, I have my team who we've gotten a lot of clients funded through our team and our networks. And the reason that we're able to do that is because we know we have relationships and we know exactly who's lending and things like that. So as long as you have a 680 credit score, sometimes it can work with a 650, but preferably 680. and you have proof of income of over $40,000 a year, a lot of our clients have have come on board and with the service by getting funding. So yes, that is possible.
Okay.
Okay, but you have to meet those requirements.
I have to have. Okay. So what if I don't make at least 40,000 a year? I make at least 30,000.
Yeah, well, 680 and 40K. That's the requirement. I don't make the rules on those. But there might be some other options that we can possibly take a look at. That is something that you would have to message me, and we can go into further details about that.
Okay. And as far as close mentoring, because I do live in Florida. I don't live that far from Coral Springs. I don't know if you also do that.
No, my business is more so on the management side these days, as far as managing accounts. Now, if I have a client that, we're doing business with, I have no problem with that. But the problem is a lot of people go on the internet and they're like, Vince, let's hang out and listen. I'm about business, and I love networking. I love, going to lunch and, with my clients. I took one of my clients to the basketball game the other day when the Heat was playing Golden State, right? So it's fun. But it has to make sense because I'm a pretty busy individual.
Okay. And you do not take credit card payments, right?
No, it's everything that we do is through wire, especially with a $25,000 payment. It's everything's through wire. Some people pay me in crypto. Some people pay me in cashier's check. But credit card is not one of those options. Number one, I'm not paying those ridiculous merchant service fees. That's number one. Number two, I'm not going to risk having that much capital inside of PayPal. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. The email, right? It's the same email that I sent the webinar to. That's my personal email, which is Events and Millionaire. I just put it in the chat. So Y as in yes, V as in Victor, ENSON, the word millionaire @gmail.com. It's right in the chat. If you guys send me an email saying your name and your emails, and I'll get the agreement out to you if you're ready to move forward. And if you have any specific questions as well too, and we'll go from there. That's it, guys. I'm straight to the point, and everybody have a good night.
All right. Thank you.
Good night.
You're welcome.